And we're back. So here's the good news. The bike fired up and it ran. So I tossed on a helmet and I went out for a little shakedown cruise, a little test ride. And got good news and got bad news. The good news is that the instrument cluster now is using a reinforcing plate and it holds it very steady. And so that thing can sit in place without it being a problem until I can get it into the resource that can fix all of the stuff that's been going on with that. So that's a big win. On the other hand, big loss. The headlight is still flickering. So brought it in and took a look at that and said that, okay, well, the voltage regulator is putting out what I want to see. It's almost 14 volts. And we're actually north of 14 in a charging situation. So I go, okay, it's not a charging problem. So I can get rid of the diode, voltage regulator, and hopefully the alternator generator setup is being a problem. And because the flickering is so intermittent, I think I've got a connection issue between some wires, and there's a possibility that it could be related to the headlight relay. We'll find out. So I was checking the electricity, checking the voltage, and I had the meter out there, and I'd come back and look at it again and say, it's dropped. And I'd come back and check again, and it's dropped. It turns out that the clock in this thing is a constant draw. And so if I didn't keep this thing charged, I think the battery would probably be dead in a month. And if I'm a full charge to less than 12 volts, it probably happens in like about 2 weeks. Not good. Anyway, what else did I find out during that ride? That the engine speed increased when I turned the handlebars sharp to the left. So, wonder what's going on with that. So the cabling routing for the throttle needed to be re-examined, and I went back and found my notes and found my pictures and found out that I put it all back together very wrong. So I was able to get that wrapped around in the right positions and found out there was a couple other cables that were being routed incorrectly, and I pinned down some of the electrical wiring that should be pinned. It should be free to move. So good thing I kept notes, otherwise I'd be in big trouble. Let's see, what else was going on? Let's see, I also found out that the right-hand rearview mirror was shaking like crazy. In fact, it's now the part that vibrates the most on the bike, having taken over for the instrument cluster. So I took a look at that, and it seems like there's some fitment issue to the fairing and the mount. So I've shimmed it up a little bit with some rubber-like material, and we'll see if I can't get that eliminated with the next time I take it out. The horn grills rattled like crazy. They were loose. And so I brought that in, and we went ahead and got out the needle nose pliers and crimped those babies on there, and they are good and tight. So right now, since I redid the throttle cable routing, I need to go back in and make sure that the carbs are still doing what they need to do, being in sync, and have a chance to set the idle correctly. So we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of carburetor work and take it out for another test drive. So when I'm done with that, I'll let you know how that turned out. Talk to you soon.